Welcome back to my channel, Pocket Change Coins. If you're excited about finding hidden gems in your pocket change, you're in the right place. First, we're going to uncover some of the most valuable and rare US coins that could be worth a fortune. Let's dive in. We turn our attention to a very special coin that stands at the crossroads of history, culture, and numismatic value, the 2022 Philadelphia Mint quarter featuring the inspiring Wilma Maniller, principal chief of the Cherokee Nation. This coin is far more than just currency, it's a tribute to a trailblazer, a symbol of strength, and a sought-after collectible in today's market. Wilma Maniller's story is nothing short of extraordinary. Born in 1945, she overcame numerous obstacles to become the first female principal chief of the Cherokee Nation, serving from 1985 to 1995. Her leadership transformed the Cherokee Nation through community development, improved healthcare, education, and the preservation of Cherokee culture and language. This quarter honors her remarkable legacy and the impact she made, not only to her people but also to Native American representation across the United States. When you hold this coin, you hold a piece of history that honors resilience, leadership, and cultural pride. The design of the coin itself is an artistic masterpiece. On the obverse side, you'll find the timeless portrait of George Washington, which has been a staple of the quarter since its inception. But flip it over, and you are greeted with a beautifully crafted image of Wilma Maniller herself, alongside symbolic elements that reflect her dedication to community and heritage. The intricate details in the coin's artwork highlight her strength and determination, along with the rich cultural motifs that are central to the Cherokee Nation. Now, while many of these quarters were minted in large quantities at the Philadelphia Mint, the collector's interest lies in the coin's condition, rarity, and any unique minting characteristics. Circulated coins may still carry sentimental and historical value, but the real excitement is reserved for those coins preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition. These coins retain their original mint luster and sharpness, untouched by the wear and tear of daily use. What makes the 2022 Wilma Maniller quarter truly intriguing is the growing demand among collectors who seek rare coins or special variants. Some of these quarters might have subtle minting mistakes, such as doubling, off-center strikes, or metal anomalies. These errors are rare and can significantly increase the coin's worth. Collectors prize such variations because they are essentially one-of-a-kind pieces that tell a unique story about the minting process. Furthermore, the coin's place within the America the Beautiful Quarters program adds another layer of collectability. This program celebrates national parks, historic sites, and important figures, making each release part of a larger, highly collectible series. As interest in the program continues to grow, so too does the value of individual coins, especially those with exceptional condition or unique attributes. If you are fortunate enough to own a 2022 Wilma Maniller quarter in mint condition or discover one with a rare error, you could be looking at a remarkable increase in value. Market trends show that such coins can command prices up to $39,000 in words. This is a stunning figure for a modern quarter and highlights how historical significance, combined with numismatic rarity, can create truly valuable treasures. For collectors and history buffs alike, the Wilma Maniller quarter is not just a coin, it's a celebration of a pioneering woman who broke barriers and uplifted her community. It's a story etched in metal, passed down through generations of collectors, and cherished for its cultural importance. So, whether you stumbled across this coin in your pocket change, inherited a collection, or are a dedicated numismatist, keep a close eye on the details and condition. You might just be holding a small piece of history that could be worth a small fortune. Second rare coin, we're diving into a fascinating chapter of American numismatics with the 1970 D Washington quarter dollar, a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance but holds some surprising value and history beneath its surface. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting to explore the world of coins, understanding what makes this particular quarter special is a journey worth taking. The Washington quarter, first introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday, has become a staple in American currency. The 1970 D issue, minted at the Denver Mint, is part of the ongoing series that continued the legacy of this iconic coin. It features the familiar profile of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan, whose classic portrayal has graced quarters for nearly a century. On the reverse side, you'll find the traditional eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows and olive branches, a powerful symbol of America's strength and peace. But what truly makes the 1970 D Washington quarter stand out isn't just its design, it's the story behind its production and the condition in which you find it. In 1970, millions of quarters were produced, making it one of the more common dates in the series. However, the value of a coin goes beyond how many were minted. It depends heavily on factors like mint state condition, rarity of certain varieties, and collector demand. Most 1970 D quarters you'll encounter in circulation are worth their face value of 25 cents. Yet, the real prize lies in finding specimens that have been preserved in near-perfect condition, also known as mint state or uncirculated coins. These coins retain their original luster, sharp details, and have no signs of wear, making them highly sought after by collectors. Graded by professional services, a high-grade 1970 D Washington quarter can command prices far above its face value. Collectors also keep an eye out for any minting errors or unusual characteristics that can add tremendous value. Whether it's double dies, die cracks, or other anomalies, such quirks transform an ordinary quarter into a rare collectible. The 1970 D issue, like many others, has a few notable varieties that can draw serious attention and competitive bids in the marketplace. What's fascinating about collecting coins like the 1970 D quarter is that they offer a tangible connection to history. Holding this coin is like holding a piece of 1970 America, reflecting the culture, economy, and artistry of that time. Each quarter tells a story, not just of the nation, but also of the mint workers who struck it and the collectors who cherished it over the decades. If you happen to have a 1970 D Washington quarter in pristine condition, it could be worth a significant sum to collectors who value historical importance combined with rarity and quality. Exceptional specimens have been known to reach a value as high as $88,000 in words. This figure might come as a surprise considering how commonplace the coin can seem, but it highlights the crucial role of condition, provenance, and collector interest in the coin's valuation. So, whether you find one tucked away in an old jar, come across it in your change, or inherit a collection, the 1970 D Washington quarter is more than just spare change, it's a potential treasure. Take a moment to appreciate its design, history, and the journey it has been on. It's coins like these that make the hobby of numismatics endlessly rewarding and full of surprises. Third expensive coin, we're turning our attention to a coin that many people might overlook in their collections but holds a fascinating place in American numismatics, the 1979 D Washington quarter dollar. At first glance, it might look like just another quarter from the late 20th century, but there's more to this coin than meets the eye, especially when you consider its value, rarity, and the story it tells. The Washington quarter has been a beloved coin since its introduction in 1932. Honoring the first president of the United States with a classic design that has stood the test of time. The 1979 D quarter, minted in Denver, features the familiar profile of George Washington on the front, a design originally created by John Flanagan. On the reverse, we find the powerful American eagle, wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches, a symbol of both strength and peace. What sets the 1979 D Washington quarter apart isn't just its design, but the details that collectors seek and the specific characteristics that can boost its value beyond the everyday quarter. While millions of these coins were produced for circulation, their value is far from common, especially when you consider factors like the coin's condition, minting errors, and rarity. Most quarters from this era you'll find in circulation are worth face value, 25 cents. But for collectors, condition is everything. Uncirculated coins, or those graded as mint state, which means they have remained virtually untouched and free from the wear and tear of daily use, are highly prized. These coins boast sharp details, brilliant luster, and a pristine appearance that makes them stand out in any collection. Moreover, numismatists keep a close watch for any unusual minting errors or variations that might have occurred during the production of the 1979 D quarter. Such anomalies can include double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks, each transforming an ordinary quarter into a rare and valuable find. The 1979 D has its share of such curiosities, which can ignite fierce interest among collectors and significantly increase the coin's market value. Aside from its monetary worth, the 1979 D quarter serves as a time capsule, a small but powerful connection to the United States in the late 1970s. It represents the era's political, social, and economic backdrop, silently circulating through millions of hands but also quietly becoming a collectible treasure for those who recognize its potential. If you are fortunate enough to own a 1979 D Washington quarter in exceptional condition, or better yet, a coin with a rare mint error, you could be sitting on a piece worth far more than you imagine. Top-grade examples have been known to fetch prices as high as $60,000 in words. This might sound surprising, but it speaks volumes about the passion of collectors and the importance of preservation and rarity in coin collecting. In summary, the 1979 D Washington quarter dollar is much more than just everyday currency. It embodies history, art, and the excitement of the hunt for rare and valuable coins. So next time you come across one, take a moment to examine it closely. You might just be holding a hidden treasure. Especially, we're diving deep into the story and value of the 1983 D Washington quarter, a coin that, while common in circulation, holds surprising interest and worth for collectors who know what to look for. The 1983 D quarter was minted in Denver and is part of a long series of quarters that feature the classic design of George Washington on the obverse side. This design, created by John Flanagan, has remained a staple on the quarter for decades, symbolizing leadership and the founding of the nation. On the reverse, the American eagle spreads its wings, embodying strength and freedom. This familiar imagery makes the coin instantly recognizable to millions, but its true appeal lies beneath the surface. Most quarters minted in 1983, including the Denver Mint versions, were produced in huge quantities to meet the country's need for small change. This abundance means that most of these coins are worth only their face value of 25 cents, especially if they've been heavily circulated and show signs of wear and tear. However, the world of coin collecting is all about details, small nuances that can transform an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. Collectors seek out 1983 D Washington quarters that are in exceptional condition. A coin that has been well preserved, showing little to no signs of circulation, with sharp details, full luster, and no surface damage, can be graded as mint state or near mint state. These coins, especially those graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, hold far more value than those worn from daily use. Moreover, certain varieties and minting errors in the 1983 D quarter can significantly increase its worth. These errors might include doubling of the die, where some features on the coin appear duplicated, off-center strikes, or other anomalies caused during the production process. Such coins are rare and highly coveted among collectors, often fetching prices much higher than their standard counterparts. The 1983 D quarter also marks an interesting era in American coinage. This was a period before the state quarters program began, a time when the quarter was a straightforward and consistent design piece. Yet, it's precisely this simplicity combined with the rarity of high-grade specimens and errors that makes the 1983 D quarter appealing. It serves as a snapshot of the economy and minting practices in the early 1980s, a decade of change and growth in the United States. If you happen to have a 1983 D Washington quarter in top condition or an error variant, you could be sitting on a coin worth a great deal more than its face value. In fact, some of the rarest and best preserved examples of this coin have been known to sell for up to $50,000 in words. This underscores the incredible value hidden in what many consider everyday pocket change. In conclusion, the 1983 D Washington quarter dollar is much more than a simple coin. It's a piece of American history, a collectible treasure, and a potential investment. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about coins, this quarter reminds us to look closely at the small things, because you never know what value they might hold. Next coin, we're diving deep into the 1991 D Washington quarter, a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance but holds a special place in the world of numismatics. If you've ever stumbled upon one of these quarters in your change, this video will open your eyes to the hidden value and fascinating story behind it. So, sit back, and let's explore everything you need to know about the 1991 D quarter, including what makes it valuable and how much it could be worth. The 1991 D quarter was minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small D mint mark you'll find just below Washington's neck on the obverse side of the coin. This coin continues the legacy of featuring George Washington's profile, designed by John Flanagan, which has been a staple since 1932 when the quarter was first issued to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth. On the reverse side, you'll find the traditional heraldic eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbols of America's readiness for war and peace. While this design may not stand out dramatically from other quarters minted in the 1970s through the early 1990s, the 1991 D quarter is part of an era that many collectors find quite interesting. What's remarkable about the 1991 D quarter is the sheer volume minted during that year. Over 1 billion quarters were struck at the Denver Mint alone, making the coin widely circulated and readily available to the public. You might wonder, with so many coins out there, what could make this particular quarter valuable? The answer lies in factors such as condition, rarity, and specific variations or errors. Most quarters you find from 1991 D will be common and worth their face value of 25 cents. However, for collectors, condition is everything. Coins that have been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, showing sharp details, lustrous surfaces, and no signs of wear, are highly prized. These coins, often graded by professional services as MS 65 or higher, can command prices far above face value. Collectors seek these mint state coins because they represent the coin as it was when it first left the mint, unspoiled by circulation or damage. Additionally, mint errors on 1991 D quarters add another layer of intrigue. Errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks can occur during the minting process and create unique variations that are rare and highly collectible. For example, a double die error would show doubling in the lettering or numbers on the coin, making it a fascinating find. Such anomalies attract collectors and investors alike, pushing the coin's value much higher than usual. The 1991 D quarter is also interesting as it represents a period just before a significant shift in the quarter series. In 1999, the U.S. Mint launched the 50-state quarters program, which greatly increased public interest and coin collecting enthusiasm. Therefore, quarters minted in the early 1990s, like the 1991 D, mark the end of an era where the classic eagle reverse was standard, and many collectors treasure them for this reason. Beyond just being a collectible, the 1991 D quarter also reflects the economic and cultural context of the early 1990s in America. It circulated widely during a time of technological growth and change, marking the coins that passed through countless hands and journeys across the country. If you're a coin enthusiast or just someone curious about hidden treasures in your pocket change, it's worth examining any 1991 D quarters you might come across. If you find one in exceptional condition, or even better, with an error, it could be worth significantly more than a quarter. The most valuable specimens have been known to reach a staggering price of $44,000 in words, depending on their grade and rarity. Last unique coin is the United States Washington $quarter coin from 1994, minted in Philadelphia, is often overlooked as just another piece of everyday currency, but in reality, it holds a fascinating story and potential value that many collectors and enthusiasts find truly captivating. This particular quarter is part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, a coin that has been a staple of American coinage since 1932, symbolizing not only the legacy of the nation's first president but also the evolving history of U.S. currency. Today, we're going to explore why the 1994 P quarter might be worth much more than its face value and uncover the secrets that could make it a prized possession in your collection. At first glance, the 1994 Philadelphia quarter features the familiar portrait of George Washington on the obverse side, a design originally created by John Flanagan. The reverse side showcases the classic American eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows and olive branches, a symbol of peace and strength. The design itself has remained consistent for decades, but what sets certain coins apart, including the 1994 P quarter, are the finer details that coin collectors call grade and rarity. During 1994, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters, so on the surface, these coins seem plentiful and common. However, this mass production actually opens up interesting avenues for collectors who seek out coins in exceptional condition or with unique characteristics. For instance, most 1994 P quarters found in circulation have wear and tear, diminished luster, and minor scratches that reduce their value. But those that have been carefully preserved or professionally graded as mint state coins, meaning they show no signs of circulation and retain their original mint luster, are far more valuable. Collectors also pay close attention to any minting errors or anomalies on coins. On the 1994 P quarter, error coins such as double dies, die cracks, or off-center strikes can be quite rare and therefore much sought after. These imperfections occurred during the minting process when the coin dies. Metal stamps used to strike the design onto the coin blanks had flaws or misalignments. A double die error might show visible doubling in the letters or numbers on the coin, making it instantly more collectible and significantly increasing its market value. Another factor influencing the worth of a 1994 P quarter is its grade as assessed by professional coin grading companies like PCGS or NGC. A coin graded MS 65 or higher means it's in superb condition with sharp details and brilliant luster, making it extremely desirable for collectors. Such high-grade examples are harder to find and often command premium prices at auctions and coin shops. The 1994 P quarter also belongs to an interesting period in U.S. coinage history, just a few years before the introduction of the 50-state quarters program in 1999. This program sparked a new wave of interest in quarter collecting nationwide. As a result, quarters from the early 1990s like the 1994 P hold nostalgic value and represent a more traditional era of American coin design, which adds to their appeal. If you happen to own a 1994 P Washington quarter in mint condition or one with a mint error, it's definitely worth having it appraised by a professional. Some specimens have been known to fetch an impressive $30,000 in words, depending on their rarity, condition, and market demand. In summary, the 1994 Philadelphia Washington $quarter coin is much more than pocket change. Its classic design, minting history, and potential for rare errors make it an exciting find for any coin collector or history enthusiast. So next time you come across a 1994 P quarter, take a moment to examine its condition closely. It might just be worth far more than you think. Thanks for joining me on this journey through American coinage history. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to stay updated on fascinating coin stories and valuation tips. Happy collecting!